Now to the race for the White House, and the race gets a bit more crowded this week, but former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie and former Vice President Mike Pence officially announced their plans to run. So what does this mean for the Republican nomination, and what will be the top issues they'll have to face to gain the respect of voters? Pence was today, Christie is tomorrow. ABC's political director Rick Klein is here to talk about all of that. We're going to start with what we expect tomorrow because we look forward, that's why. Mr. Christie, a governor who was, liked by many. By the end, maybe not so much, but he was a very close friend of Donald Trump's, and he's not now anymore. Yeah,
and Chris Christie is going to have to explain that to Republican voters because a lot of them view him unfavorably from both directions. They were too loyal at one point and then disloyal at the end, and he's got to find some kind of a sweet spot. What he's going to do that no other candidate in the race right now is doing is punch Trump in the nose. He's going to go out there and say, "You lost. You're the one that actually was disloyal to the Constitution. You were the one that mishandled the aftermath of the election." He's going to say, look, I like a lot of the things Trump did. I like a lot of the policy, but I don't like him as a person. And I think that him being the nominee would lose for the party. The other candidates have been dancing around that. I think Christie is going to be a lot more forthright.
Well, he's a puncher, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
I mean, he likes that. He did it when he was a governor here.
Yeah, and he has said, he's told us many times he can't wait to get on a debate stage with Donald Trump. Will Donald Trump do it or not is a question because he knows what Chris Christie's like better than anyone. He helped him prepare for those presidential debates.
And maybe, just maybe, he will be the guy that hurts him most if he's dealing with the ethics question. I don't think they don't have much of a chance to beat him for the nomination, but they can make a dent in terms of the ethics questions for other Republicans.
Look, Christie is hoping that he can do otherwise, but it might just be a kamikaze mission where he's out there saying, look, this guy faces all these ethics problems, all these criminal investigations, what he did on January 6th. And by the way, he also lost for the Republican Party in 2018, 2020, 2022. That's a direct argument. Even Mike Pence doesn't really want to say it as directly as Chris Christie.
Let me ask you an inside question because our viewers will be interested in this. He is a correspondent or a consultant to ABC News politically. Is he going to join you on this week, or
he's no longer an ABC News contributor. As soon as he announced, as soon as we reported his intention to announce, we suspended that relationship. He is no longer going to be an ABC News contributor, and he's going to go off and do this. And that was always the understanding with him. You knew that he might get back into politics.
Let me talk about the former vice president who announced today he's not going to punch Trump, right?
No, I mean it's an interesting thing because he, in some ways, similar to Christie in the sense that he was a one-time loyalist who's broken with him, but much different in disposition. He is going to go after evangelical voters. He is going to try to introduce himself in terms of more substance. When he's asked about Trump and January 6th, he kind of has a pat delivery of a line about how he'll never see eye to eye with him, but he isn't someone that's going to go out of his way to harm him. And he may face even more of a squeeze than Christie, where the Trump base and the never-Trumpers, neither one really likes him.
The irony of this, of course, is he has the most to complain about.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, look, literally his life was in danger as a direct result of Trump's actions on January 6th. And Pence did, I think, a service to the Constitution, a service to the country in honoring his oath of office as opposed to listening to what the then president was saying. And
people are just continuing to jump in the water. The status of the rest of the guys and gals, because there are a lot of them right now running as Republicans. It's going to just really level the field, and Trump could just take off with it.
Yeah, there was significant news today. Chris Sununu, the governor of New Hampshire, announced that he's not running. He specifically said he's worried there's going to be too many other candidates, that they're going to, with their 1%, 2%, are going to eat away at the same anti-Trump, never-Trump base. So I thought that was significant because he's also saying that he's going to call on other candidates to get out if it has to. Now we're up to about a dozen candidates. It is beginning to feel a little 2016-ish in terms of this big field that Trump can take advantage of. The question for me isn't how many are in right now, but how many are in Thanksgiving, Christmas, and then when the voting starts January, February.
Some of the support from Mr. DeSantis could be, dwindling now at this point as these new people come in.
Yeah, I mean, look, those numbers so far have gone back to Trump. The question is, are they available for someone else? Because there is no clear third place. There's no one that can kind of battle against DeSantis on today's math, on today's facts, and that will be key because if you're going to take him on Trump, first you have to get through the guy that right now is the main alternative.
And what does all this do for Mr. Biden?
Well, look, Biden, the best thing that can happen for him, I think, would be a long, drawn-out Republican primary process. And as long as Biden doesn't face anything similar, and it doesn't appear he does, as long as his health remains solid enough for him to continue a campaign, he gets kind of a free ticket to the finals. Part of the Biden team would love to face Trump all over again, but they also recognize that's a pretty dangerous proposition. Trump came close last time. I think anyone that were to say right now Trump could never win, I think, is not paying attention to this country.
How is Ukraine going to enter into all this? Because there are a lot of Republicans who will be very different in their views of Ukraine than Mr. Trump.
Yeah, and Trump right now is about as pro-Russia as you can be on the Ukraine question, and there's a few others that are kind of parroting that a bit. Nikki Haley, Mike Pence, Chris Christie, they're among those who are saying, no, you need to be steadfast in your support for Ukraine against Russia. There's no middle ground here. But there is a growing segment of the Republican Party that feels like this is a foreign entanglement, that it isn't directly relevant to U.S. interests. And Trump is actually kind of the leading edge of that. It's not clear where the majority is.
And then one more thing to talk to you about, because as our friend Hank Scheinkoff says, you know, like they did back in the Clinton campaign in 1992, it's the economy, stupid. Yeah. It's still got to be the driving force.
Look, we're one recession away from this election looking totally different. And as long as the economy remains strong enough, it's iffy right now, remains strong enough, Biden's numbers can be propped up a bit, but they're very soft numbers overall. And I think an economic downturn remakes the whole landscape.
Good to have you in New York and not in Washington, D.C., so you could be on the set with us. Thanks,
Great to be with you.
Rick Klein, the political director of ABC News. Rick, we thank you.